Crack it open, feel the thrill. OND Light's the perfect chill. Great content, less filling. It's the vibe you've been missing. OND Light, sit back, relax, sit back, relax.
For y'all.
Oh, that's a good one. Here, ready?
Awesome.
Oh yeah. I wanted the tss to be longer, but I messed it up. Joey, we have a topic for today.
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a good title for it because it's a long and complicated idea, but
Oh, I'm ready for
I
mine.
was like, hey yo,
Hey yo,
I got a topic.
hey yo, buy me dinner first.
And then May was like, Jesus, you've got a topic again.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
I don't remember saying that. Or did she say that to you like on chat?
No,
Oh.
I'm telling stories.
Oh.
All right. So the basic idea is, and I saw,
Oh, are you gonna read the message word for word that you typed earlier?
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, the whole thing spun out from this post on social media, which was, what was the dumbest thing you believed as a child?
And what was
And
the first comment?
The first comment was that I'd be happy as an adult.
But anyway.
So my idea was, what is a brainworm idea that's been stuck in your head? Oh man.
Yeah, I think Sam was messaging in the chat when you.
Let me read it verbatim.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
Go ahead.
people can
This is when he said this. I was like, oh yeah, totally understand. Didn't need any explanation. Go ahead.
So I shared the thing and I lolled and
I lolled.
Hunter oof damn lolled in
Mhm.
response, and then I posted, what my idea was, and this is verbatim what I put in the chat. But am a brainworm idea that you've is capitalized for whatever reason,
That you.
always has for a story or the way the world works or belief, comma, that you've capitalized again always had, but either have going out, it's painfully untrue, and you still can't let go of it, or it's something that, even capitalized, though you say you're capitalized, going to do something with it, comma, never have, and likely never will, because it's either become too big, too misspelled, too personal, too misspelled, or too stupid, too misspelled. Don't worry, I'll share it for everyone so that you can read it again. But the basic idea is an idea that has stuck with you since, well, it doesn't have to necessarily be childhood, but through most of your life, that you've always thought was like, oh, this is a cool thing and I could do something with it, but it's always never come to fruition. Or maybe it's a belief you had in something that you're like, yeah, I still kind of believe that even though it's stupid.
Sure.
So that's the general idea.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be distilled out of the message that I dropped in Discord.
Right. Okay. Joey, start us off.
I thought you had one.
I do. But mine might be deeper than I thought. So I want you to go first.
Well, what if mine's really deep?
Oh, well then we'll find
You don't have
out.
enough time to do yours because it's too deep.
Yeah, it'll force me to be faster.
Oh, okay. Well, so back when I was about 7, I had to be 16 or 17 because I was shagging carts at Toys R Us when I came up with
Shagging carts.
it. Yeah.
What's that mean?
That's what the people who go out in the parking lot and collect the carts. They're cart shaggers.
Cart collector. Gotcha. I think they've changed the name.
I don't know about that.
It's not the 80s
Cart
anymore.
shagging. It's collecting carts at Toys R Us.
Gotcha.
So I had to be like 16 or 17 when I first got the idea. But I was in the parking lot getting stormed on, collecting carts, and I was like, called back to an episode of Maurice Sendek's Little Bear.
Of what?
Little Bear.
Oh, Little Bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maurice Sendak is the creator.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay.
Also of
Little Bear,
Where
like
the Wild Things Are.
Little Bear, like
Little Bear, Father Bear, Mother Bear.
yeah.
Nick Jr.
Yes. Okay. Just making sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
The anthropomorphic bear that they were like, let's make a little boy and put a bear head on it.
he's a bear, yeah. But he's a little boy.
Yeah.
So in that, his old man, Father Bear,
Mm-hmm.
was a fisherman.
Okay.
And there's an episode where he's out on his fishing boat, and there's
Of
a
course, they'd
storm.
make a bear a fisherman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they go out and they get
Yeah.
the salmon.
Yeah.
He's on his fishing boat, and the storm is like hitting him, and he's like, blow. You just get me home quicker.
Okay.
Ain't nothing but a G thing to me.
Ain't nothing but a G thing. Papa Bear.
So I'm getting blown on by that storm, and for whatever reason, that pops into my head.
You were like, oh, I'm Papa Bear.
And I'm like, all
Storm
right,
ain't
I'm
no
getting
thing.
these cards. I'm getting stormed on. What can I do with this thought? And from that, it starts to spiral out into this kung fu revenge story of it would be a dark parody retelling of Little Bear that was a kung fu revenge story.
Okay. Who's getting revenge? The dad, Papa Bear, or
No.
or Little Bear?
Same story. Like he goes out. So he's in charge of the village, right?
Who?
Father Bear.
Papa. Yeah. Father
Father
Bear.
Bear. Yeah.
Okay.
He's a kung fu master. He keeps everybody safe. Big ass storm is coming, so he goes out and he fights the storm god.
This storm ain't no thing.
Yeah, he goes out and he fights the storm god.
Okay.
He comes back. He's a different person. You find out later on in the story that he, to defeat the storm god, had to like possess and take his soul within him.
Wow. This is some in-depth kung fu bear stuff.
Yeah. So he becomes like this angry, fucking storming, raging, chaotic.
Father Bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Little Bear at the time, he's a stupid little dumbass kid,
Stupid little dumb little bear.
right? And like before his father went off to fight the storm god, he's always like, oh wow, kung fu's like magic. I'm gonna call it magic, and ha ha ha. Father Bear comes back, and now he's got the storm god in him, and he's like, one of these times.
Wait a
Little Bear
minute.
goes,
Is this going to turn into Mortal Kombat and Father Bear is Raiden?
no.
Continue.
So Little Bear's doing his thing. He's like, "Oh, do the magic, Father!" And he's like,
Do
it's
the
not
magic.
magic, it's kung fu. And he starts beating the shit out of him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
He's beating up Little
yeah,
Bear?
his
Why?
mom has to intervene because he
Does she know Kung Fu?
Yeah,
Nice.
of course.
Of
All
course.
of the different.
Why wouldn't she
No.
know Kung Fu?
All of the different animals are
Their own Kung
yeah,
Fu
and they all
masters?
have, they follow the different
Yeah.
styles based on the animals that they are.
So bear Kung Fu, rabbit Kung Fu,
Yeah.
turtle Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Little Bear has to run away and like live in the woods, and he's exiled.
Okay. A bear living in the woods. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he's out of the village.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, I got you. I got
Yeah.
you. Does he learn his own Kung Fu?
Yeah. So he
Oh.
in the story,
Yeah.
he has to he's surviving on his own. He's a dumbass little kid, so he's not going to make it.
Sure.
So
So he gets saved by the
So-
wolves.
Franklin, the turtle,
Franklin the turtle.
also of Nick Jr.
Franklin taught me how to brush my teeth.
Right. So in this, he's like, instead of, a dumbass little kid himself, he's like the wise mentor figure.
Franklin the turtle?
Yeah, he's like
Okay.
he's like the master Oogway of this story.
All
And he's the one that teaches Little Bear Kung Fu. Because
Does he teach
in
him turtle
Franklin-
Kung Fu?
In Franklin's best friend was also a bear. So that's where I drew that
yeah.
connection from.
Yep.
Like-
Okay.
So his student is a bear in this.
Is Franklin older in this?
Yeah.
Oh, Franklin's
he's
older.
like the older mentor character.
Okay, so Franklin's not a kid in this.
Right.
Okay.
But it would
Teaches
still be
him-
that character. It's just
Right. Teaches him kung fu.
yeah.
Okay.
And the whole idea is like the whole forest is suffering because of what's going on. So they need somebody that can be trained up to be at that same level as Father Bear.
To go fight Father
to
Bear.
Go fight him.
I thought Father Bear was supposed to protect the village.
Right. Well, he was.
But since he got the storm
and
god
he
in
becomes
him.
like a dictator and like everything's going to shit.
Damn.
But like instead of just the straight vengeance, I'm going to go back and kill him. He finds out what happens, and he's like, "Oh, if I can figure out a way to pull their souls apart, I
My
can
father's
save them."
not bad. He just has the storm god in him.
Yeah.
Oh, so it goes
And
from a
even-
revenge story
Yeah,
to a more of a avenge story.
Yeah.
Not even avenge. It'd be, well, whatever it is. Yeah.
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 So, and that for the last 20
Odd
years
20 years, okay.
has been cooking in my head.
It's just
as
been
something
cooking
to
in your
do.
head all this
I've
time.
added lore to it, different
Oh
characters.
my God.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's like the one I've never been able to let go of, where I'm like, man, if I could do something with this, it would pop. But we're like past the point now where I think like the dark retelling.
Of stuff. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. The new horror movie Mickey Mouse is coming out.
Yeah, and Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, so maybe.
Horror Steamboat
Can you
Willie.
even, can Little Bear even be an IP you can use right now?
Probably not.
Probably not yet.
You know,
Close
under
though.
parody law, you probably could.
Oh yeah. You'd have to name them not Little Bear and Father.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like Small Bear and Papa Bear
Yeah.
or something.
Papa
or-
Bear and Cub.
Yeah. But everyone would know. It wouldn't be Franklin, just be Frank or you know whatever it is, right? Franklin, whatever works for it. Huh? Nice. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Did not expect that. That was way off what I had expected. Mine's gonna sound fucking crazy. Wow. Well, first thing I'll throw out there is an easy one, is that I still believe Santa exists, but not like physically. I believe Santa exists like spiritually.
The
Like-
spirit of the season.
Yeah, I think Santa is the spirit of the season. I don't think he brings us gifts and stuff, but I think that there is a true, like, as people believe in, maybe not Santa, but like the spirit of Christmas, we get happier as we get closer to, well, sorry, we don't get happier, we get more giving near Christmas. We tend to get nicer.
Unless it's a secret Santa, and then Hunter's like, I'm not giving to that.
We tend to get more givey and caring near the Christmas season. And I feel like all of our collected sort of goodwill goes in December. And the more as a whole in the world that we're able to do and give and care about in December will mean how well off the next year will be. And the worse and worse Christmas gets, the worse and worse each year gets. So that's, like, I believe that is Santa. Santa exists as, like, the spiritual manifestation of Christmas spirit. And Christmas spirit is, like, actually the manifestation of, like, karma. Like, end year karma to go into
So
next
if we
year.
had all believed a little more back then, Harambe might still be alive today.
Yes! If only we had believed more, Harambe would still be alive. Oh my God. I watched me and Michaela watched Boondocks the other day, and there's an episode where Riley is the director for the Christmas play. Oh my God. And the teacher is like telling them about Kwanzaa, and he's like, everybody join me in yelling out the Kwanzaa cheer, and he goes, Harambe, Harambe. And I was like, oh, how they have no idea. Oh, it was funny. Anyway, I had to you said it, and it made me have to say it. But anyway, that's my quick, easy throw, and I wanted to throw out there. But here is my crazy story that has been in my head for a long time. However, it is not something that I have continued to think deep on. Only really like, oh hey, yeah, that was cool. Not really continued to think on, because I think I may have grown out of it, but I still might think it's true. I don't know. As a child, and even as I've gotten a little bit older, my first memory, and we've talked about it before, is my first ever memory that I actually remember is when I don't even remember how old I was, but I was definitely not a baby. I was maybe like 4 or older. And it seems weird that my first memory is from when I was 4 years old, where a lot of people are like, oh, I remember when I was a baby and this happened, or when I was 1 and this happened.
That blows my mind when people are like, oh, I remember the birth canal. It's like,
The first
what?
time I remember coming out.
What? I can't fucking remember Tuesday.
So that, like, in my memory, my first ever memory feels too far into life. Okay. And I've talked about my first memory is it's me sitting on our weird brownish maroon couch in England. My mom sitting in the recliner in front of me to my right, and we're watching some cartoons in the big ass TV. What are those called? entertainment stand system, whatever. Because it had the cabinet doors, it had the little box on the inside for a TV, the fucking tube TVs. Anyway, that's my first memory ever. But it always felt too far into my life to be my first memory. Like I should be remembering stuff from way before that, but I don't. As I grew up, I also realized I didn't really see my dad as much. I was like, I don't really see my dad like ever. I mean, I see him for maybe a month or two, like in the summer or whatever, when school's out, but like I don't ever really see my dad, and like we don't really talk about him and stuff. And like we're always like moving around and blah blah. And I started to come up with this theory in my head that I was certain was true. And I still to this day believe it a little bit, that I am not the real hunter.
I know we were just talking
we
about
were, and it was wild that we did, because I was like, whoa, hold on.
Now, just for reference, Baby Hunter, blonde, platinum.
Yeah, I put a baby picture in Discord, but it was not for my blonde hair. It must have been after. I do not believe I'm the real hunter. I think
Changeling.
I think the real hunter either died or was kidnapped or taken or whatever it was. Cause you like, that's a real thing. Like babies die it's like a 1 in whatever chance that a child dies within their first like year of being alive or something, or however long. Like it can just happen. I forget what it's called.
Sudden infant death syndrome.
Yes, that's what SIDS. Yes. Which very terrible, horrible thing. But back to my crazy theory in my head. So I believe I replaced the real hunter. And then I didn't just replace it like I was just a baby they took from somewhere else and threw me in, because I have features of my mother and my dad. So I had to have been genetically created through, guess it, the military, because my father is not around very often.
What if you got replaced while you were in England? Then it could have been red caps that did it. And you're actually a fey creature.
A fey creature? That'd be wild. That's almost still on my theory. So my theory is that I am a genetically altered military weapon. That the reason I didn't see my father was because he, my mom and him were so sad that something had happened, or that a real hunter was dying, and that the only way to keep me, or to keep a child, was to steal or create their own genetically altered hunter in the secret military lab, and then brought me home. And the reason why I didn't see him often is because he's on the run. And then I could only see him during the summer, because that's when he was able to throw off the scent of the military for a little while, even though he still lived in the same place each time that I saw him. But I didn't see him for a long time, too. There was a while where I wasn't seeing him at all. So my theory was that he's always running from the military, even though he still went on base where I saw him. But that I was a military genetically altered weapon. And I kept dreaming and thinking, because like as a kid, I was not, I don't know. It took a while before I really got into any like sports or was athletic. Cause I grew up with like my mom and like my sister, and like, they weren't going outside being like, hey, Hunter, you want to play catch, or you want to, whatever. And I'm like, I wasn't really like into that stuff, but it wasn't until I really like was growing up in public school and kids were like, Hunter, let's go do this. And I'm like, I don't know how to do that. So then I started playing like baseball and wrestling and like all that stuff or whatever. Right. But for the longest time, I was always thinking, because like anytime I didn't get to see my dad, or someone talked about their dad, and I'm like, I don't get to see my dad. Or my mom made me mad, or like when I ran away, I always thought that, I'm just genetically.
Yeah, that's when it happened. Maybe when you ran away, you got swamped.
I'm just genetically altered. And when I turn 18 or when I turn 20, my powers will manifest and I will help people and make sure that I don't get found out by the military, so my dad doesn't go to prison.
So fucking little kid.
So I always hoped for a long time that my powers would manifest. And I used to dream about because I used to walk to Any day now. I used to walk to school and home for like almost all of high school until I got a car, which was like senior year. So basically from 9 to 11. I would walk to school and walk home. When I went home from school, I would go around the backside, and then there was this little bridge that had an under bridge to it that you could walk through. And it was always like really shadowy and dark. And I always dreamed that one day my powers would just manifest because somebody was like getting beat up under the bridge, and I would save them. And then I would save them, and those people would be like, "Oh my God, Hunter, what was that?" And I'll be like, "I don't know. You can't fucking tell anybody though. we're in this together now. we are one. You're my backup from now on." But yeah,
I hope you're good at computers because you're the tech guy.
You're my tech guy. You're the van guy. So yeah, I for a long time, and I like, still kind of believe it, but I don't know. Maybe not the genetically altered thing, but that maybe I'm not the real Hunter, or maybe there was two of us, and I don't know. But for a very long time, I very much believe that I am not the real Hunter, and I am not like I was genetically born and not birthed, and I was made at like whatever year. Like my first memory was me like becoming active, you know.
Damn.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. it's bonkers. But yeah, man, I always, you know, every little thing I had to make a reason for it, and it was always more than what reality probably would be. But it was enough for me to think it was okay.
Damn. What powers were you gonna have?
It was gonna be, if I remember, like a telekinesis, like, it wasn't, so like, I could move stuff, right? But it was a lot of like, forming things around me and like hitting stuff. And then like pushing people.
Green Lantern.
Oh, yeah, I guess it's kind of Green Lantern-y, yeah. But yeah, and then I could fly. I could definitely fly. I remember flying. Flying's cool. But yeah, man, I don't know. I feel like I did that a lot too as a kid. As I would, if something didn't make sense to me or if it upset me, I found some reason to make it that was okay in my head. So I didn't see my dad a lot. So I must be an imposter because he's running away from the military because he took me from the secret genetics lab.
He's hiding out on the base.
Yeah.
Solid Snake. He's under a cardboard box. I can only see him for 2 months.
I can't tell if that was a fun, happy story or a sad story. Do you have another one?
No, I just brought the one. I was expecting, 3 of us, and that to take some time.
Tell us your guys' thing.
That was what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Get in the comments and let us know your weird brain rot.
Whatever it is, your idea you've had as a child, your whatever stories, beliefs that probably aren't true, but you certainly believe they are. Like things that like you probably know it might not be, but like you still believe it is, that kind of stuff. Tell us yours in the comments.
Which creepypasta is absolutely true? Hey there, dipshits. It's me, Joey, a.k.a. Slooty Mage.
I'm Hunter, voice of Hunter Taylor.
And I'm Carter, Eagle. We're
OlderNDumber.
Every Friday, we drop wisdom, humor, and a whole lot of nonsense. You won't want to miss it.
Become a patron today for as low as $5 a month. Get early access to all our episodes and exclusive behind-the-scenes looks at all the things we're doing and May's super secret editing notes.
Shout out to our awesome dipshits. Your support really helps keep this madness going.
Join the crew. Be a dipshit. It's an exclusive club, and you're invited.
So dipshits, mark your calendar every Friday for a dose of Older and Dumber craziness. See you there.
Fade to black. Now my stand. Fade to black.